Hello, Janelle here, and thanks for clicking on the video. Today, I would love to have a chat with you about this fear we have of messing up. Fear of failure, fear of doing something wrong, fear of getting in trouble, fear of falling flat on our faces, fear of embarrassment. This fear that has the ability to stop us in our tracks. This fear that has the ability to freeze us when we attempt to move forward towards our dreams and goals. So what am I talking about? Things like you won't apply for the role at work that's at a higher level than the role you're in at the moment because you fear you won't get it. And then everyone will know, and then that'll be, holy crap, so embarrassing. A fear to put your idea forward in a meeting because what if people laugh at it or don't like it or don't listen to you or don't hear you? That would be really embarrassing, right? Or fear of putting your hand up to do a presentation to the rest of the organization because what if you trip up over your words like I often do on these videos? Or what if you say something incorrectly? Or what if you physically trip up when you're going up to the lectern or up onto the little stage or big stage to do the presentation? Or sometimes there's even a fear of telling our boss that she's giving us too much work, that we're overloaded, but we have a fear of looking incompetent or a fear of looking like we can't handle it, so we say nothing. We keep saying yes until eventually one day we break down in tears, which may or may not have really happened to me. So we don't like being embarrassed around people we know, people that are in our sphere, people that we work with. We have a great fear about that, as I've just been explaining. We have a fear that we'll fall flat on our face and everyone will see and everyone will laugh at us because that would be so embarrassing. I have a personal story. This is coming from someone who has literally fallen flat on her face in front of about 100 people at a pivotal time in my life, a pivotal time when it was very important to be cool. So when I was about 15 years old, I grew up in a very small country town and I had to take a bus to a larger town to go to secondary school. And there was, in this larger town, there was kind of this hub where, because there was about four secondary schools, I think from memory, and there was this kind of big bus hub where the buses would pull in and we'd all jump on and the buses would go off to the different parts of the countryside to take us all home. When I was about 15, I was going to catch the bus one day, and I was walking along the footpath, or quite a wide footpath. The bus parking was here, so there was 3 or 4 buses in a row filled with kids, teenagers. And then on this side there was a fence that I think was deliberately built at seat height, and all these kids were sitting along waiting for their buses. And right when I was in front of the cool kids, because they had their spot, very important to be cool, I slipped and fell flat on my face. Flat on my face. It was literally the uncoolest moment of my life. I was mortified. I jumped up really fast, but I was pretty agile because I was so freaking embarrassed that I jumped up really quickly. So the less amount of people that saw, the better. Dusted myself off and kept walking. And when I reflect back on that, do you know what? I don't recall anyone laughing. I don't recall anyone yelling anything out to me. I don't know how many people saw it because I, what's the word I'm looking for? I recovered so quickly. I do remember a couple of people looking, and there was no phones back then, so it's not as though everybody, mobile phones, there was phones. I'm not that old. No mobile phones, so it's not as though everyone was sitting there looking down at their phone, which they probably would be today. So people were talking and looking around, and so So the point, and I don't really remember, a couple of people would have noticed. No one ever said anything to me later on. I didn't go to school the next day and no one gave me any grief or teased me. So the point I'm making here is I literally fell flat on my face in front of about 100 people. I didn't die. I recovered quickly, and I realized that no one even really noticed. And I'm sure even the people who did notice may have had a giggle to themselves or a chuckle or thought, how clumsy was that? Or she's really stupid. But you know what I actually think they were thinking? I'm so happy that wasn't me. That's probably what they were thinking. And then 5 or 10 or 15 seconds later, they went back into their own thoughts, back into their own heads, back into their own worries, back into their own life. So take it from me, it's okay to fall flat on your face, even when you're trying to be the pinnacle of coolness at a time in your life when that appeared to be or seemed to be or felt to be really ultra important. So I'm going to leave you with that today, just to have a think about where you may be holding back, where you may not be moving forward, where you're letting fear of embarrassment or failure or falling flat on your face stop you in your tracks. I'm going to be talking more about this in a free webinar that I am running next week called The Secret Fears We Tell Ourselves at Work and How to Silence Them. It's absolutely free. It's online. It's at lunchtime if you're in Australia. So you can put your earbuds in, or book a meeting room and tell your boss you're doing some professional development. That's what I'm going to be talking about next week. It will be recorded, so if you can't make it at that time, that's okay. Register anyway, and I'll send you the recording afterwards. That's it from me today. I hope I've given you some food for thought, and I hope I see you in the Learning Lunchbox / Online Learning Lunchbox / webinar next week. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll put the link down below. Bye.